Hello and welcome to my video. Now, I've been feeling really cozy these last couple of days, and so I thought I'm gonna do something cozy to me, and that is building a small little, maybe one-person house in a very cozy kind of architectural style. I pulled out Newcrest and chose this teeny tiny lot. Yeah, I'm gonna do it with all the cheats, I'm gonna do it with all the things I find comfortable, because this is about me doing something cozy and comfortable. I think I want to have the front door in this kind of area, so that it's not to the main street. And I do think I want it to be 2 stories high. Since I'm going so small, didn't really leave myself with much room for stuff like a staircase, but I do want to have that second story. So right now, I don't know, kind of thinking that I'm going to go with a corner staircase and help it divide up the space. Like so, maybe? I'm currently thinking I might want to have some space here that's fully not a room. This one will just be 1 story, and this section here can be just a little space to look down on the living room area. Like so, maybe. Then this could be an office area. I'm just thinking, because of how the stairs are angled, I can't close off this section as a room. So maybe I'm gonna re-angle that, but I like it for the downstairs. But it could go like this. That could be closed off then. Bedroom here, bathroom here, little office nook section here, overlooking the living room there. I like the upstairs, but I stopped liking the downstairs, because the open stairs look prettier when they just go into the room. Also, this sucks. Didn't think about that, but I think this needs a wall then. And if that needs a wall, then the whole openness kind of died with it anyway. I think I'm gonna go for another kind of stair. I do like the openness. Can I force it to work? Oh, and this dark and light moment. Yeah, come on. I want that. I want that. I will force it to work somehow. I'm not yet sure how. I will come back to this later. Do we need a bathroom in the downstairs? Probably we do. Is there a place where it fits without being annoying? I don't want to break up the space too much. Maybe a kind of L shape would work, that it's not too closed off. Let's see, with doors and windows. Since it's gonna be cozy, I want it to be very full of light and airy. Maybe this could be the door to the garden section. It's cozy because it's got this knitted stuff. You know, I'm gonna put it here to keep it in mind. This could potentially be a vibe. This would leave us open for like 2 or 3 different styles. Same with this door. But I'm thinking more the first one. I think I found my front door. Now, with that front door, does this side door still work? I think it does. Roofing before windows. Or maybe this needs a balcony. It's kind of unbalanced here. Does that work? Yeah, that's dumb. This is all very complicated to me because this looks really boring and boxy. And I want to break it up with some shapes. But maybe this balcony is actually the way to go. It makes for some kind of shape, but it also means I just took up some space from the already very tiny bedroom. I'll just accept this as working for now. And I will continue on with the roofing. Let's just see how that goes. How about another roof piece here that it connects a bit? I think that might work. I like the idea of a little overhang, but it would need to rest on something. There is a part of me that loves this and just doesn't know for what. I'm figuring this out. I'll keep that for now. I can still delete it later, but I kind of like the idea. So far, nothing about this is cozy though, and I need to work on that. Could these be a fun vibe? Or are they too specific? Yeah, I think they're much too specific. I'd like to keep it a little bit ambiguous style-wise. I think these ones are a little bit too heavy-handed with the black for this particular build. Though they are some of my favorite windows because they come in so many sizes. It's pretty versatile. And you can actually style it relatively modern or classic, which is also always fun for me because I like things to be a bit more versatile. Yeah, I think in the end I'll go with the cats and dogs windows. It's a tad boring, but I think it's fitting for now. A long, big ass window wall. And same thing in smaller up here, so that there's even more light coming in. Now, door, new door, because the other one I decided is better for a balcony. Maybe this one. I need something with a lot of texture. This is why I thought either wood paneling or stone. I think I'm gonna do something that I usually don't do, and that is I fully commit to the outside at first, so that I can get the outside to a state that I find actually cozy, and then I can see what the inside does. Because right now I'm really unsure about style still. I don't even know what I want the fence to look like. Oh, maybe something wooden really. Oh no, hold on. This one might be good for the garden. I think I want partially fence, partially hedge. Shenanigans like this. Let's go with this for starters. We can always add more. This makes that look more grounded. And I'm thinking we could maybe potentially give the inside, if I find room for that, because I built this so small, a little fireplace, and then this could be a place where firewood is stored. I know we have stuff like this in our showed objects and show live edit objects catalogs. I don't really know how the layout could go. Could I possibly put the fireplace here? I'm just putting stuff someplace to figure out a good layout. This section potentially just needs to be hallway. Could have a larger couch here, and you would look at the TV at an angle, but I think that looks just more natural. And you could have a seating arrangement like this here. There would be room for more additional stuff, like a bookcase maybe. That works. Then we can have a fireplace after all. We need a chimney. Chimney make things more cozy anyway, so I'm all for that. Like that the chimneys actually smoke when the fireplace is on. Those chimneys are all enormous though. Maybe I commit to the enormous chimney. Or maybe I don't. Right now it's very white, and I think breaking this up with brown could potentially be a good call. I need to figure out the best spaces for it though. Oh yeah, here's a good space. And to make it less uniform, I will add some more greens to it. The fun thing is that I can place them wherever I want, so it also doesn't look too uniform with those. Even though I have two of the same size here, like two of these climbing things of the same size, by adding different kind of greens, it still doesn't look too much like I did the same thing twice, even though I totally did. I'm just sneaky like that. I do want there to be loads and loads of green. The more green stuff you add, the less it becomes just one giant geometrical shape. These also are great. They came with the cottage pack. I think that works. And these two came with this pack, and I think they are also immensely helpful. This is why this can't be a starter home, by the way. I'm doing so much. Might be a dumb thought, but what if the wooden roof was also full of plants? What do we think? Do we like? I feel like it's a bit too much, but I think I like the general idea. Just gotta make it feel a little bit less everything. Like there can be some wood showing. And the same to the back. Trying to make it look at least somewhat natural. It's hard to not have it too overgrown, but also natural because of all these right angles everywhere. Just adding loads and loads and loads and loads and loads of light. Now, first design choice, floors. I'm pretty sure I want to have wooden floors, but I don't know what. Oh, these floors maybe. Light floors? Dark floors? This floor is kind of cool. Yeah, maybe I'll use that one for now. Okie dokie, but that means the stairs need to change. Does that work? Oh yeah, that works. I think I'm gonna go with this fireplace. This maybe? Oh, the copper one. Ah, yeah, I'm going with the copper one. Copper is a nice accent color for something with dark wood tones and nature and greens. I want one of the couches that has something going on, pillow, blanket wise. Because again, going all for the cozy vibes here. If it looks lived in, that's a big, big, big help. We could go for a more eclectic style, where you can mix and match a bit more. This could actually be also pretty good for something more cozy, more comfortable, a more eclectic household where things are more collected. Tells the story a bit because it seems like somebody lived a life and then just gathered things rather than somebody had a stylist come over and just have the whole interior design package. And to utilize a living space to just surround yourself with things you collected in your life and that you love and that are meaningful to you, that's ultimately incredibly cozy. It would also allow me to go for multiple wood tones. Still wanted to be cohesive though, so I don't know. Nothing is less cozy than a white couch. I'm a little bit in crisis right now. Maybe it's actually this thing that's the problem. Still severely unsure about everything right now. Or do I want the white couch after all? Maybe a small one is fine. Maybe I'll just have different seating options for the fireplace. But now that feels really close. Hot damn. I went back on my word several times to end up with this combo. But I do think it works. Kind of. I think I can make it work. I want some flowers there. Yellow is gonna be the dominant color of the room. Also went back on my word on the fireplace. I went for a darker color with less accent. Now that the couch is yellow, we have a lot of patterns going on. Something had to give. Rug will be important in this space because everything is a little bit its own party and I need something to just bring it all together. Exactly something like this. And because rugs near fireplaces are dangerous, let's plan ahead. So now I want something to read. More yellow maybe? To carry it over a bit? No. I'll take this one in black. This one can bring the dark brown around. Music. Music is always needed. Carry the yellow. Nice and usable. Now we need some more clutter. Not only because I think it makes it more cozy, but most importantly because I think it makes it more lived in. There are two things that make it seem like actual people live in a place in The Sims as opposed to it being just kind of a dollhouse. The one thing is clutter, and the other thing is storage. Because in reality, if you live, you have stuff, and stuff goes places. And the more it seems like your Sims have stuff, it makes the spaces look more real. And so I always try to add some clutter items and some items that look like utilizable storage. We can also use this one. It matches this one in the upstairs area to just bring the upstairs and the downstairs together because you can see this from up here. I have to play test if I can still use the stairs if I do what I'm planning right now. That would be cool if I could use the place underneath the stairs. Like so. We need more things that resemble family photos. Of course, you'll do it later on with real family photos of your Sims, but photos of Sims not in your immediate family unit because I do not live with all my relatives and friends. Some magazines, maybe some folders. Those tools are great. I love that we have them now. Moving on to the kitchen for now. I'm thinking fridge here, eating space there, kitchen kind of in an L shape. And because we're going cozy, maybe the farmhouse style is exactly what we need. I've already decided against staying with the yellow fridge because that seems like a lot with the dark wood. Now on this wall, maybe some shelf units. The dark countertops with the dark shelves works pretty well. This is a single person household, so they don't need immense amount of dining space. but you would want some space to entertain guests. This is a kind of house for somebody I'd consider a homebody, so presumably they would love to have friends over rather than going out. The rest of the house isn't so rustic, so I need to be aware of that. Like if I lean too much into that rusticness, it's gonna look like two very separate spaces, and I don't want that. Okay, maybe this one is a good compromise between rustic and simple. I don't have a real color focal point here. Maybe this antique rosé moment. Do you think I'll carry over the curtains? Maybe that's better, because then everyone can look out the window. I would have to figure out how to not make it look ridiculous on the outside, but probably just by putting something here, honestly. And from the inside, the windows there make more sense. Of course, they're now offset to the windows there. Is that gonna bug me? No, I think not, because I'm going for something realistic and livable in a sense. And in realistic buildings, windows are offset a ton of times. They mostly care about how it feels for the space and where some electric wiring and stuff like this, and piping goes. That can give real life rooms personality. Now in Sims, it's something different. It's not always screaming personality. Sometimes it's just screaming, what the fuck? Yeah, that's nice. So you can still look out the window like this, making it look like they're actually hanging from off the shelves. Some nice tea. Is that right? Perfect. There is a tea shelf, actually. We have ourselves a little tea corner. Further, making it a little bit more livable and cozy, we now know more and more about the people living here, which is always neat. Makes for a better livable space if you have characters that occupy the space. Not everybody's gonna like the same things. So I'd like this difference to be reflected in the living spaces of the Sims I'm designing them for. And there's gonna come some clutter with the cheese. So I think for now that's okay. And now I want the hallway, the entry, to be a little more of a usable space. So for the keys, ever since the high school pack, we have one item that actually includes keys. Before that, I would always fake it with a bowl. Now I like to use that. The downside is that it comes with all kinds of crap around it. That is a very specific mood. Like this doesn't scream middle-aged father of three. In this space, it might actually fit. I'm gonna force it fit. This little bowl, though, I would love for it to come on its own without all the rest of it. I think I want sneakers to go there. And because there's space there, I want this to go there. I can see that here, like a bunch of jackets and like warm sweaters to just quickly throw on your way out when it's cold. And that's the entry space. We can hang a coat and a hat. We can throw on some sweaters. We have our shoes. Everything I do is making it less likely that the stairs will work. Which is becoming a problem. Come see, come sa, bathroom it is. I think I want to go somewhat modern. Maybe we stick with the beige, just for continuity to the rest of the house. We go with softer tones now here. Could actually make for quite the relaxing bathroom, which would be very on the vibe. I'm using so much move objects. I'll really have to playtest this later. So, continuing a chill but modern vibe. This is cool because it again also has storage. We love some storage. Now, do I want to contrast this with black? I think I want that. I did it. Can't stop me now. I think the bathroom on the downstairs doesn't really need toothbrushes. It does need soap though. Okay, that's the downstairs. Upstairs we go. What kind of fence do I want there? Oh wait, now that I look at it like this, I so need to playtest this. I'm pretty convinced my stairs won't work. Heavily convinced, actually. Can I place it with move objects off? I can. That's potentially a good sign. Going with the black now. And I think I'll stick with the glass. It gives even more view to the downstairs. I want some pattern, I think. This could be cool. It's a pattern, but it's not too much. It's still allowing some wiggle room with the furniture. This is a tad annoying. How about you leave? Freedom. I feel if you're mixing patterns in rooms like this, and one of the patterns is on something like a duvet, where you would know that reasonably in a real setting this would go and get changed ever so often, it doesn't necessarily fit the vibes better if it's just the exact same pattern. Quite the opposite, I think. It's looking fake, more like a dollhouse. I think I want this one. It's not too matchy-matchy. The pro of this one would be that I don't need an extra mirror anymore because it has one. It feels so cramped. Maybe I should just put things in different spaces. Yeah, now it doesn't feel like you have to shimmy your way around things anymore. I think I'm changing my mind and I will put in a mirror after all. Yeah, that works. And some pictures. Maybe this little cozy moment here. Yeah, alright. Maybe I can squeeze in a bathtub. Maybe even a raised bathtub. Some very modern, round, soft. We take the same kind of furniture from downstairs, roughly. For this, I would want storage for the upper bathroom. Now, this is the bathroom that needs the toothbrushes. Some makeup stuff. Desk here, obviously, because it fits like a charm. Oh, that works nicely. So now you can read upstairs as well, I think. Bringing the same lamp up here as well. Putting stuff like rugs slightly at an angle can also help making a space seem more like a space that's actually being used. Okay, now for the outside. Now, do I want actual stones or do I want terrain paint? For example, this one. I think I like that. No, those aren't the matching chairs. You know, I'm going for it. I'm gonna do it. I also want some gardening space in this. Okay, so. And here the wood. Searching for some logs. Ah, there they are. I swear I love and I hate debug for having everything I need, but also making it really hard for me to find what I need. Okay, now I have firewood. Cool. And I think I'm gonna go with a non-American mailbox. I feel like this should be a very, very colorful, flowery place. The small house with a relatively big garden for such a small piece of land. They invested quite a lot of it in garden space instead of living space, and I feel like somebody who does that spends a lot of time in this garden. I need those in not debug. I love them. They're the very greatest. Why they only exist in debug is beyond me, because look at them, they're perfect. I will actually allow for no differing opinion on this one. They are in fact perfect. Putting in a little self-made bread basket here, because a kitchen without bread is just sad. Built from debug items. Luckily those have names though. Not all debug items have. And looky here. We have bread in our kitchen. That's important. That's really, really important. Kitchen without any form of bread is just too sad. I won't allow it. I'm fine with how that went so far. It's a nice mixture between modern and traditional right now. Oh, we could have bees. Bees is nice. I want bees. It makes sense with how many plants we are putting in our garden that we would have bees to pollinate them. Makes sense. Also maybe a bird feeder. It does look kind of like it goes into a garden space. Colors even fit the flowers and the bird feeder. Like, these really look like patio furniture. Can really see the sim inviting friends over and just chilling here in the nice cozy garden while the bees are buzzing and the birds are tweeting and it smells so great from all the flowers. This seems to be a very vibey space. What I'd really try to do usually is I want to hide the weird unnatural hard cuts with more and more plants. Usually I have to keep an eye on not overdoing it. With this build, however, I feel like more is more and I might even want to overdo it a bit. That's a nice wild garden. And that here needs a bit of smoothing out as well. Maybe the blue ones, I rarely use them. This area here, a flower patch. So I'm gonna build myself a real flower patch, but I'm making it organic and less structured, which means I'm using these stones to kind of build the frame for it, and the frame is gonna be rounded shape. This may seem a bit tedious, but it actually doesn't take so long. I'm kind of the person who will just do what's natural, what feels right in the moment, and maybe later adjust, but I'm not going into this with any real plan. A few design rules I have in the back of my mind. For example, if you make it too symmetrical, it will actually look odd and weird because with this method you won't get it to be 100% symmetrical unless you want to spend hours. So I'm going for one pile that's a fair bit larger than the other, so that it's very obvious they're not supposed to be identical, as opposed to them being almost identical but then not, which will look incredibly uncanny valley-like and unpleasant to look at. So now that I have the shape, I can fill it up. As this is supposed to be a relatively wild kind of garden, even though this is the slightly more tidy front space, keeping it fairly wild still. A little overgrown here and there. It's a garden where they planted plants that kind of form an ecosystem together with the bees they have, etc. So they just let that run and only interfere when they need to. This is the kind of energy I want. Something that's very natural. They made sure that the larger flowers go in the back, etc. But other than that, they just let it grow. Oh, one thing I forgot almost is the balcony. Okay, that's cool. This color. I want to put some plants there. Something like this maybe. On that side, we can put a tiny little chair. Don't actually know how well that will work, but... oh, it does work. Now the balcony looks like it's actually usable. Okay, I also forgot to rain paint. I need to do that real quick. And I like to do that on the posts of fences as well, because sometimes they don't really look like they are part of the environment, and that can help. I also like to strategically place stuff where Sims would walk, and underneath all kinds of plants. On the side of walkways as well. This is a structure that has been moved, and where you sometimes stand in front of it to take care of the bees. I will also always blend the dirt patches to the ground. Usually when I do terrain paint with dirt, I use several different kinds of dirts and layer them. A very soft brush, so the different dirt textures will actually blend really nicely. And what using different dirt textures and a very soft brush does is it's mimicking a texture that the game doesn't have, because usually this dirt, it's just a limited amount of texture. It will look very repetitive unless you use a very soft brush and then different kinds of dirt, because then depending on how quick you move the brush to what part or how often you go over the same spot, this will change what kind of the dirt texture will be most visible, and so will look more realistic that way. For the dirt patch, I also always try to mimic kind of the colors of the dirt patch to a degree, so that it blends, because in reality this wouldn't be such a harsh border. So let us look at the finished build. Here it is in shitty weather. It has this front side with a usable balcony. It has the little entrance to the garden. This is where the firewood is stored. Here are the little bees. The garden space. where you can feed the little birdies. There's a little tree here. Everything's kind of green, including the roof. Now let's actually enter the space. This is when you come in. There's the living room. Here's where you put your clothes and stuff like this upon entering. Oh, here she goes into the kitchen, getting some crackers. You could actually cook a real meal here, or grab a bread. Well, she can't, she's a sim. You know, we can pretend. While eating here, you have a nice little view out the garden. Pretty. Yeah, clean up after yourself, that's correct. Now, here's the bathroom, right opposite to the kitchen. First thing is the toilet. Oh,
Kirga Arabe.
you...
Buckinja.
Okay. This is your own toilet. You're pranking yourself. Jesus Christ, woman. Well, anyway. This is where you wash your hands. This is the nice view to the neighbors that don't exist. Hi. And here you can take a shower. I think. I haven't play tested it yet. Here's the living room space. Nice and cozy. You can sit and watch TV. Or sit by the fire. Here you have some additional storage. And there's the exit to the garden. From the living room, we could go upstairs, right to this side. And be here in the upstairs hallway section, where we look down to the living room. While working, you could actually watch TV from up here, if you are like me and always need something in your background. Now, first door is the bedroom. It's a small room, but really she doesn't need a large bedroom. She has everything she needs. Her bed with her little bedside table. She's got her wardrobe with all her clothes, some decoration and pictures. Here's the mirror for styling purposes, and here's the window/door exit to the tiny little balcony. But she can take a little sit here. She can water the plants. And the plants are actually in front of the window to the bathroom. You enter the bathroom from this door. And when you enter, you see the bathtub that's on this little platform here. To the right is the toilet that she hasn't pranked yet. To the left is the mirror, and you can kind of tell that this is her main bathroom. This is where all her beauty supplies are, and where there's a little shelf for cozy stuff for the bathtub. You can look out the window, you can let down the curtains, and this is the pretty little one-person home. Oh yeah, there she is, enjoying the television, so it does indeed work. She's even sitting down. I can't say that for all my bills. I hope you enjoyed that. She certainly seems to enjoy her living space. And yeah, maybe I see you another time for another build. It's probably still gonna be something cozy because I'm still getting used to everything, but hope it was fun. Goodbye.